Welcome to tonight's live stream of the BLG Schluter medal count from the Gawler and Barossa Jockey Club. We thank them for their cooperation in providing this facility. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we cannot have our usual dinner night. This year has been a tough one in many ways, but in another way it has provided a light at the end of the tunnel for football. Although this football season looked like it wasn't going to happen, it was great to see all the clubs come together to generate a 2020 football season. It gave the people of our communities the chance to go out on a Saturday, enjoy some banter and social communication, which they were denied for a few months. It also added to an economic bonus for our communities. I would like to acknowledge the work of the BLG board and the cooperation of all the clubs and the umpires in this difficult time, especially the tireless work of Simon Carpenter to get our COVID-19 management plan in place so we could play the finals this series this year. Also, many thanks go to Belinda Dyer and Zoc for all their hard work over this difficult time. We must acknowledge our sponsors, Grant Burge Wines, Lion Nathan, The Vine Inn, Sterling Homes, Burley Seacombe, and the Gawler Caravan Park. Without their support this year, it would have been much more difficult. Thank you to the Central District Football Club for their continued support. Many thanks go to David Cabinet and Chris Grant and their board. We must acknowledge the help and cooperation of the SNFL through Tom Hurley, Scott Patching and Graham Wandle and all the staff. To the umpires, under Mark Moles this year was well led, and Ryan Prentice, who looked after the juniors, thank you for putting in the good work and under difficulties due to a late start. To Peter Tregallen and the junior committee, well supported by Paul Healy and Saxon Dawonsky, full efforts in keeping junior football going. Congratulations to our under 14 zone side winning the Central Zone Carnival. It was coached by Jamie Seebick. They were undefeated during this carnival. To Adam Butcher and his team on the Women's Football Committee, running a successful season with a wonderful finish on Grand Final Day. The Tribunal Commissioners, thank you for your time and effort. Also to all the media for your support. Finally, I would like to wish all players good luck in tonight's medal count. Wish all the best for the teams playing in the Grand Final this Saturday. Hopefully our netball partners will be back with us next year for the 2021 season. Thank you and have a good night wherever you're watching from. Now I'd like to hand over to Simon Carpenter, who will introduce Adam Butcher and Greg Micken, who will talk on the women's football this year. And then Simon will continue on with the under 15 medal, the goal kicking, then the under 15 medals. So I'll hand over to you, Simon.
Thanks, Mick.
Thanks, Mick.
Cheers. You jumping out, are you?
Yeah, I'll jump out.
Okay.
I'll jump in your chair. You sit there.
All right. For a bit.
For those that don't know me, I'm Simon Carpenter, Vice President of the BLG. With me here is Greg Micken, also board member, and Adam Butcher. Welcome, Adam, to the this fantastic show.
No, thanks. Thanks for having me on. No, it's great.
Better than cotton beating.
It's great to be here. Obviously, we'd prefer to have an actual night and celebrate a bit more, but it's just good to be part of it.
Yeah. Look, we thought we'd have you on board, particularly in relation to the success and the growth of women's football this year, and obviously you've been a massive part of that. So I guess if we want to just fire a few questions on it.
Yeah, I'm happy to do a Q&A, absolutely, definitely.
Well, first of all, we'll perhaps talk about the finals.
Yep.
And we've got some on the screen now. There's a few more points to come up here with the winners of the premierships.
Yeah, so well, it started in the under 14s. It was Kapunda versus Barossa Districts. Barossa Districts were undefeated all year and won every game in the under 14s by about 10 goals. And Rick Lane, the super coach as he likes to call himself, was
impeccably dressed.
Yes, the best dressed coach in the BLG and BLGW combined. But yeah, it was actually a really close game. So the first time they played, I think Barossa beat Kapunda by 70 points, and then in the grand final it was only about 30 points. So it was a really good game. And Barossa had only had 16 points scored against them for the whole season.
You got all these stats in your head?
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm in tune with girls' footy. I've been a part of it. I've got a fair bit to do with it. And yeah, so Kapunda ended up kicking 19 points against them in the grand final, so more than every other team combined for the season. So it was a good effort by Kapunda, but yeah, Barossa were way too strong.
Unlucky to Pete.
Yeah, very unlucky to Pete. Yes.
Trelagan.
Yes.
Trelagan. Yeah.
Trelagan, yes.
What about the 17s? How do you reckon?
The 17s was won by Anguston, so they played against Williston. So this grade here is where we've got a lot of our young, talented girls in the league from. So we've got, in that grand final between Williston and Anguston, we had 5 girls that are actually in the Crows Academy. So they're like right up there, like being looked at for AFLW, hopefully in the next couple of years. So we've got 2 from Anguston, which is Libby Fiebiger and Kate Argent. And then from Williston, we got Dakota Williams, Mia Noel and Greg, and Jessie Stanford from Williston that are all part of the Crows Academy. So looking for those girls to, in the next couple of years, maybe be drafted by an AFL side. So
And there's some good pathways there for them, isn't there?
yeah, there's a lot of good pathways, obviously, with the Talent Shield at Central Districts. And from there, that's where they got picked from last year to go into Crows Academy. So
Beautiful.
yeah, they're doing really well in that age group for sure.
Excellent. And the main game?
The main game was, Williston and Tanunda. So this was a very, actually, it's really exciting for us, being our 4th year, that this game was actually played on a full oval, which is something that we've been trying to get to from day dot, and to have it in our 4th year to play on a full oval in front of 800 people on Sunday was amazing. And obviously Williston were undefeated going into the game, and they stayed undefeated by the end of the day. But it was a great game, and it was just great to see on a full oval. It was, not the scoring wasn't too bad, but the physicality was certainly up there. There was certainly the girls certainly got stuck in and had a crack. So it was a great game to watch.
No injuries this year or anything?
No, so obviously last season and semi-final day at Barossa, we had 3 ambulances on the way out, semi-final day, but this year, semi-final day, we got through nothing, and grand final day, no injuries either. So for some reason, I don't know why, the injuries have been a lot less this year. I think probably because the girls are, played a few more years of it now, and they're getting used to tackling a bit better. Their skill set's a bit better now, so they're learning to protect each other when they tackle a bit more and stuff. So
They're not getting softer on each other then?
They're definitely not getting softer on each other. I think obviously we're having a bigger ground, there's more room, so there's less collision as well. So being out in a bigger oval with less people on there sort of, gives the girls a bit more room rather than being congested like it was the first few seasons.
Beautiful. And the grand final was a bit of a spectacle as well, wasn't it? The people, the atmosphere,
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, I'm still blown away by it. I know it happened nearly 2 weeks ago now, but it was just amazing to see that many people from the Barossa and Gawler at a ground watching a women's grand final. Like, you couldn't dream about, when we first started this 4 years ago, to say that we would have had 800 plus people watching a girls' grand final, senior grand final, you'd be going, yeah, right, that's going to happen. But it did, and it was a great spectacle. And thanks to everyone that come out and paid their $2. This is the first year we charged for finals, and so we've raised probably close to $2,000 for the girls, and that'll go towards stuff next year that we're looking forward to bringing up later on, hopefully, and talk about next year.
Yeah. Any questions there, Greg?
I thought it would be a good idea to give a bit of a brief history of since 2017, numbers and teams involved over the journey.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, this was a year we were hoping to get every team involved, but unfortunately, Newry dropped out and Freeling came in, so it was sort of like we were hoping. I knew Freeling was coming, but I was hoping Newry were going to hang on with their seniors. But I know, so we had 3 less senior teams this year, and speaking to a lot of people around, a lot of the reason for that was because of COVID. A lot of the girls work in aged care or nursing or the health system and stuff like that, so they couldn't really risk playing senior football this year. So hopefully next year things will straighten up a bit. But on the plus side, we did have 2 extra junior teams, and as a whole, I think we pretty well stayed about the same. Maybe had a little bit more, maybe 30 more girls play this year than last year. So we're probably up to over 300 girls now playing in the competition. So it's amazing how huge it's gotten. I mean, the first year was about 86, so we're up to 300, over 300 now. So it's really progressed in a real hurry. So
big credit to the inaugural committee as well, I suppose, with Natalie Seaman from Centrals now and Todd Thorne, those guys that kicked it off in 2017, and with a bit of a dream, and it's built, hasn't it? It's been going well.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of credit goes to obviously Todd and Natalie. I mean, Todd, as we all know here, we missed him dearly this year. Like he's been a massive part of getting it going. And Natalie, I still talk to Natalie, once or twice a week on the phone, and we still have discussions. But yeah, she was a massive part to start off, and I've just come along and help it go in the way that we want it to go. So yeah, it's certainly getting bigger and better every year, and I can't wait for next year. So next year, season 5. So
Obviously, the co-op have been a key.
The co-op have been massive for us. I mean, they've been with us since day dot, and even through COVID times this year, they've still come on board, and they sponsor. They give every club every single game. They give a $20 voucher to every club for every game, so it works out. It must be $3,000 or $4,000 by the time they get through all the games. Plus, obviously, their assistance with other things that they do for us. It was unfortunate we lost the Herald this year because they went around. We've picked up a really great media company in Cotton Media, Matt Knight and the guys there, but doing a fantastic job pumping up the show. Like he's getting close to 2,000 views a week on the show that he does for the BLGW, and also does a show for the men's as well. So he's come on board and he's been fantastic for our league, and certainly really pumped it up and got it, got the ratings up and got the viewers out, and more people watching, the more people come out and play it. So it's fantastic for Cotton Media to do that, to come on board. So
He's a bit of a rat bag, though, isn't he?
he is a rat bag, yeah. He's definitely a rat bag, but he's a good rat bag to have on your side. I'd rather him be part of girls' footy than not, that's for sure.
Interesting to see former men's players from years ago coming on watching football to watch their daughters play.
Yeah.
See, I would never thought he would have been watching women's football, but
Yeah.
to see them support their daughters.
Some of them coaching.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, your brother's probably a vet one. He's got a daughter now that's playing down at SANFL. So I think we've got 7 or 8 girls that have made the league side from our league, and we've got about 16 in the squad down at Central. So our league's going really well, like, considering we've only been going around for so long. We've got 17 girls in the SANFL squad.
Likes of the super coach Andre Boers.
Andre's
Former thug, former footballer from let's go.
Andre is magnificent. If you get the chance to go listen to him talk to the girls, he's fantastic the way he talks to them, and just his guidance is like awesome. Like how much he guides them, and there's not just Andre. Like there's one at every club. Like so, Craig Haddon's come on board as coach. Anguston to X amount of premierships and 300 games and all that, and he's coaching. There's lots of people in the league that are coaching, and what it is great is for dads. Dads that have daughters and they don't. Particularly get involved in the netball side of things, but they can become assistant coaches or coaches in the girls' side of things, and it's great for those dads that are, keen footballers now. They can go out and kick the footy with their daughters and all that.
So it's a fantastic thing. What you're doing is it's building brilliantly. We probably should move on with the grand final, best on ground.
Best on
we
ground.
haven't talked about those yet, so
we can do that.
have a crack about those. We see them up on the screen now. So
So we've got in the under 14s, we've got Kira Tonkin from Barossa. She was inside midfielder. Who just certainly in the first half she got a lot of the ball and it's probably had it sewn up by half time. And Amelia Struck was probably unlucky because she kicked 5 goals in the game too. But the umpires picked it, so I'll blame them. So
and the 17s,
Libby Fiebiger. So Libby Fiebiger's had a massive day that day because she won the best on ground for the under 17s. Got a premiership medal. Then later that night they had their club best and fairest. She won best and fairest in the 17s and the seniors. So she won 5 medals on the one day.
share it around.
So I think she went to the chiropractor the next day. Had a bit of a sore neck, so carrying all those medals around. So.
And your A graders.
Oh, the A grade is Natasha Ferrier or Tash Ferrier. So she's a girl that's come to our league from Woodville West Torrens. She was actually the skipper of Woodville West Torrens last year, and she's come into our league. And she's absolutely, every time I chat to her, she just loves it. She absolutely loves our league and really happy to have her a part of it. She's
A couple of medals around her neck as well.
Yeah,
so
and
great.
she's also a school teacher at Henley High and teaches Darcy Brown, who's a fairly potent
Good luck with
person. Yeah, good luck with Darcy and the rest of them. But yeah, she's fantastic to have in our league, and she's just her quality on grand final day was amazing.
So we'll move on to the RSL medalists if we can.
Yep. So in the under 14s, from Anguston, we've got Connie Clarkson. So Connie won by 2 votes, so it was a pretty close one, that one. The runner up there was Holly Trelagan from Kapunda, so people like that will get a mention on there. But and obviously, in the under 17s is the Libby Fiebiger. She's won everything at that level and probably will go on to win everything in the next level when she gets there. So, and Keely Keely Canizaro from Tanunda. You know, this is a girl that played probably half the amount of games down at Centrals and came back early into our league and just ended up dominating in the ruck for Tanunda, and a big reason why Tanunda got to play in the grand final this year.
It's fantastic, and obviously the RSL coming on with the sponsorship they've been on. For
they've
the
been
last
on.
few years.
They've been on since day dot, and it's really fantastic for them to.
Paul Little and the Gawler RSL. So.
Yeah, Paul's been a big part of it, and unfortunately, he wasn't there on the weekend. But there was, whatever we've asked from them, they've given us as far as girls footy concerned. So yeah, big thank you to Paul and the Gawler RSL.
Awesome. Well, we need to kick on with some other stuff, but just from the board and from the rest of the league, we really appreciate all the work you do and your committee do in relation to every club that's involved. Is really putting maximum effort, and the competition's growing and building, which only gets more and more people around their clubs. So it's a fantastic thing to have.
Yeah.
Obviously you get the old schools that you think maybe not real keen on female footy, but to be honest, whatever you think about it, it does get people around the clubs. It gets the adrenaline going again and some freshness around the clubs, and brings in that revenue and volunteers, which is all too precious now.
It definitely does, and I'll have to thank the two people that helped me out the most in Tegan. She's Tegan Bainish from Barossa District. She's come on board as my secretary this year, and she's done a pile of work, and Matt Bradley as well, who's been my football director, has been fantastic. And I'd like to thank yourself for the phone calls every second day when I ring you with an issue. So get the bat phone out and I'll give you a call. So thank you very much for everything that you do for us as well. We really appreciate it.
Excellent, Butch. Thanks very much. I don't know if we're having a break or whether we're just going to move on straight on to the medals.
Have a break.
Have a quick break, yep. So I think we're just going to change some mics and things. So we're just going to read out the leading goal kickers for 2020 for this year. So
We saw the umpires there, got them under control.
so the 2020 leading goal kickers, will start with the Junior Colts, and the winner of the goal kicking award this year is William O'Brien from Barossa District with 27 goals. For the Senior Colts, Thomas Clements from South Gawler with 36 goals. And the reserves, William Moulds from Angaston with 26 goals. And the A grade is Brad Mercer from Gawler Central with 33 goals. So we've cut a lot of the medals out this year because it's only half a season. But this year for these particular ones, we're going to give the goal kicking awards out to the clubs, and so that you can award them during your club presentation. So congratulations to those winners of those 4 grades. It's been an outstanding effort with only half a season to play with. So. And we'll rip straight into, I think, the Junior Colts Best and Fairest vote count. So this is the Des Shanahan medal. So obviously 9 rounds. We'll get through it reasonably quickly. So the first round is round 1, Freeling versus Angaston. 1 vote, Angaston Tyrell Burgess. 2 votes, Angaston Brock Hutchings. 3 votes, Freeling Jaden Matts. Newripper versus Gawler Centrals. 1 vote, Gawler Central, William Tleagy. 2 votes, Newripper Tom Giles. 3 votes, Newripper Ethan Scholes. South Gawler versus Kapunda. 1 vote, Kapunda Riley Smith. 2 votes, South Gawler Nathan Elliott. 3 votes, South Gawler Hudson Nikolai. Williston versus Barossa. 1 vote, Barossa Elijah Grantham. 2 votes, Barossa Riley McDonald. 3 votes, Barossa William O'Brien. Round 2, Angaston versus Newripper. 1 vote, Newripper Lincoln Hudson. 2 votes, Newripper Tom Giles. 3 votes, Newripper Kane Matern. Barossa versus Tanunda. 1 vote, Tanunda Ben Swan. 2 votes, Barossa Brock Farugia. 3 votes, Barossa Josh Davey. Gawler Central versus Williston. 1 vote, Gawler Central William Tleagy. 2 votes, Gawler Central Connor Holland. 3 votes, Gawler Central Hudson Vivian. Kapunda versus Freeling. 1 vote, Kapunda Braden Trelagan. 2 votes, Freeling Jaden Matts. 3 votes, Kapunda Douglas Jenner. Round 3, Freeling versus South Gawler. 1 vote, South Gawler Nathan Elliott. 2 votes, Freeling Thomas Shepley. 3 votes, Freeling Harvey McDonald. Newripper versus Kapunda. 1 vote, Kapunda Braden Trelagan. 2 votes, Newripper Kane Matern. 3 votes, Newripper Tom Giles. Tanunda versus Gawler Central. 1 vote, Gawler Central Hudson Vivian. 2 votes, Tanunda Ariel Roth. 3 votes, Tanunda Finn Manning. Williston versus Angaston. 1 vote, Angaston Brock Hutchings. 2 votes, Angaston Marley Harvey. 3 votes, Angaston Ethan Kane. Round 4, Angaston versus Tanunda. 1 vote, Angaston Tyrell Burgess. 2 votes, Tanunda Finn Manning. 3 votes, Tanunda Darcy Thompson. Gawler Central versus Barossa. 1 vote, Barossa Dyson Sharp. 2 votes, Barossa Riley McDonald. 3 votes, Barossa William O'Brien. Kapunda versus Williston. 1 vote, Williston Heath Growden. 2 votes, Kapunda Caden Fitzner. 3 votes, Kapunda Braden Trelagan. South Gawler versus Newripper. 1 vote, South Gawler Jake Menzel. 2 votes, Newripper Tom Giles. 3 votes, Newripper Kane Matern. So the votes after round 4, It should have up on the screen there as we go. Tom Giles leading the run at the moment. Kane Matern from Newry, William O'Brien from Barossa, Jaden Matz, Braden Trelagan and Finn Manning. Round 5, Barossa versus Angaston. 1 vote Barossa, William O'Brien. 2 votes Barossa, Riley McDonald. 3 votes Barossa, Josh Harvey. Newry versus Freeling. 1 vote Freeling, Jaden Matz. 2 votes Newry Kane Matern. 3 votes Newry Talon Rosenzweig. Tanunda versus Kapunda. 1 vote Kapunda, Braden Trelagan. 2 votes Tanunda, Ariel Roth. 3 votes Tanunda, Ryan Lane Ellis. Williston versus South Gawler. 1 vote South Gawler, Joseph Gianito. 2 votes South Gawler, Bo Ryan. 3 votes Williston, Asher Passon.
5.
Yes.
Barossa District versus Angaston.
Yep, done that.
3 votes. Josh Dave.
We'll have a look at it in a minute. Round 6, Angaston versus Gawler Central. 1 vote Angaston, Kynan Harvey. 2 votes Angaston, Jonty Ryman. 3 votes Angaston, Ethan Kane. Freeling versus Williston. 1 vote Freeling, Lachlan Feast. 2 votes Williston, Heath Growden. 3 votes Williston, Logan Cutterans. Kapunda versus Barossa. 1 vote Barossa, Dyson Sharp. 2 votes Barossa, Elijah Grantham. 3 votes Barossa, William O'Brien. South Gawler versus Tanunda. 1 vote Tanunda, Darcy Thompson. 2 votes South Gawler, Max Kershaw. 3 votes Tanunda, Ariel Roth. So the votes after round 6. So William O'Brien, Kane Matern on top there with 10. Tom Giles from Newry, Ariel Roth, Tanunda, Ethan Kane. Josh Davey, Riley McDonald, Jaden Matz and Braden Trelagan. Round 7, Barossa versus South Gawler. 1 vote Barossa, Dyson Sharp. 2 votes Barossa, Riley McDonald. 3 votes Barossa, William O'Brien. Gawler Central versus Kapunda. 1 vote Kapunda, Lachlan Woods. 2 votes Gawler Central, Nate Oldman. 3 votes Gawler Central, Hudson Vivian. Tanunda versus Freeling. 1 vote Tanunda, Finn Manning. 2 votes Freeling, Jaden Matz. 3 votes Tanunda, William McCabe. Williston versus Newry 1 vote Williston, Heath Growden. 2 votes Newry Kane Matern. And 3 votes Newry Cooper Linky. Round 8, Freeling versus Barossa. 1 vote Barossa, Jaden Edmonds. 2 votes Barossa, Dyson Sharp. 3 votes Barossa, William O'Brien. Kapunda versus Angaston. 1 vote Angaston, Ethan Kane. 2 votes Kapunda, Aaron Dart. 3 votes Kapunda, Elliot Zivic. Newry versus Tanunda. 1 vote Tanunda, Ben Swan. 2 votes Tanunda, Jack Collins. 3 votes Newry Ethan Scholes. South Gawler versus Gawler Central. 1 vote Gawler Central, Cooper Argent. 2 votes Gawler Central, Oscar King. 3 votes Gawler Central, Hudson Vivian. Round 9. Last round, Angaston versus South Gawler. 1 vote Angaston, Ethan Kane. 2 votes South Gawler, Jake Menzel. 3 votes Angaston, Brock Hutchings. Gawler Central versus Freeling. 1 vote Gawler Central, William Tleagy. 2 votes Freeling, Jaden Matz. 3 votes Gawler Central, Hudson Vivian. Tanunda versus Williston. 1 vote Tanunda, Darcy Thompson. 2 votes Tanunda, Jack Collins. 3 votes Tanunda, Ben Swan. Barossa versus Newry 1 vote Barossa, Josh Davey. 2 votes Barossa, Riley McDonald. 3 votes, Barossa, William O'Brien. So congratulations, the 2020 Des Shanahan Junior Colts Best and Fairest medalist is William O'Brien from Barossa District. So just whiz through them, mate, we'll get the screen. One more. So congratulations, and these awards will be given out at the grand final. That's after just prior to the presentations for the premiership. So I think we're going to take a break now, and then we'll get into the under-17s.
Good evening. We will now commence the under 17 half medal. Round 1, 1 vote Barossa, Drake Dowes. 2 votes Williston, Sebastian Walling. 3 votes Williston, Luigi Mondello. South Gawler versus Kapunda. 1 vote Kapunda, Nicholas Brown. 2 votes South Gawler, Matthew Levy. 3 votes South Gawler, Andrew Marshall. Muriupta versus Gawler Centrals. 1 vote Gawler Centrals, Blake Marsden. 2 votes Muriupta, Kai Rosenzweig. 3 votes Muriupta, Cade Rawlack. Fairlane versus Angaston. 1 vote Angaston, Angus Pfeiffer. 2 votes Angaston, Seth Courtney. 3 votes Angaston, Malachi Colhagen. Round 2, Angaston versus Muriupta. 1 vote Muriupta, Cade Rawlack. 2 votes Angaston, Henry Ratcliffe. 3 votes Muriupta, Charlie Nolan. Barossa versus Tanunda. 1 vote Barossa, Riley Horsburgh. 2 votes Barossa, Colin Bovington. 3 votes Barossa, Luke Hadju. Centrals versus Williston. 1 vote Centrals, Braden Cave. 2 votes Central, Will Schmidt. 3 votes Williston, Tarjan Krieg. Freeling versus Kapunda, 1 vote Freeling, Fraser Mann. 2 votes Kapunda, Harry Watke. 3 votes Freeling, Thomas Hahn. That's round 3. Nuriopta versus Kapunda, 1 vote Nuriopta, Charlie Nolan. 2 votes Kapunda, William Glenn. 3 votes Nuriopta, Kay Rosenzweig. Tanunda versus Gawler Central, 1 vote Gawler Centrals, Blake Marsden. 2 votes Tanunda, Tyson Linky. 3 votes Tanunda, Tate Manning. Williston versus Angaston, 1 vote Williston, Lachlan Reynolds. 2 votes Williston, Bevan Cross. 3 votes Williston, Cameron Curnow. Freeling versus South Gawler, 1 vote Freeling, Rowan Erskine. 2 votes South Gawler, Zach Pennington. 3 votes Freeling, Patrick Blows. Round 4, Angaston versus Tanunda. 1 vote Angaston, Angus Pfeiffer. 2 votes Angaston, Sebastian Heinz Unger. 3 votes Angaston, Henry Ratcliffe. South Gawler versus Nuriopta. 1 vote South Gawler, Lewis DeRuvo. 2 votes South Gawler, Jacob Schmidtke. 3 votes South Gawler, Joshua Pearson. Gawler Centrals Football Club versus Barossa. 1 vote Gawler Centrals, Blake Marsden. 2 votes Barossa, Luke Hadju. 3 votes Barossa, Craig Dowles. Kapunda versus Williston. Kapunda, 1 vote Harry Watke. 2 votes Williston, Bevan Cross. 3 votes Williston, Tarjan Krieg. So after round 4, we have Tarjan Krieg Williston, 6 votes, Henry Ratcliffe Angaston, 5 votes, Luke Hadju Barossa, 5 votes, Kay Rosenzweig Nuriopta, 5 votes, Craig Dowles Barossa, 4 votes, Charlie Nolan Nuriopta, 4 votes, Cade Rawlack Nuriopta, 4 votes, and Bevan Cross Williston on 4 votes. Pretty tight leaderboard at this stage after round 4. Right, we'll go into round 5. We have Tanunda versus Kapunda. 1 vote Tanunda, Ashton Steinert. 2 votes Tanunda, Tate Manning. 3 votes Kapunda, Samuel Woods. Williston versus South Gawler. 1 vote South Gawler, Riley Haitley. 2 votes South Gawler, Noah Shell. 3 votes South Gawler, Thomas Clements. Barossa versus Angaston. 1 vote Barossa, Samuel Griffiths. 2 votes Angaston, Henry Ratcliffe. 3 votes Barossa, Luke Hadju. Nuriopta versus Freeling. 1 vote Freeling, Mitchell Lovell. 2 votes Nuriopta, Tyler Billing. 3 votes Nuriopta, Cade Rolack. Round 6, Freeling versus Williston. 1 vote Williston, Angus Arthur. 2 votes Williston, Tarjan Krieg. 3 votes Williston, Luigi Mondello. Angaston versus Gawler Centrals. 1 vote Angaston, Henry Ratcliffe. 2 votes Angaston, Corbin Schubert. 3 votes Angaston, Angus Pfeiffer. Kapunda versus Barossa. 1 vote Kapunda, William Glenn. 2 votes Barossa, Craig Dowles. 3 votes Kapunda, Kane Hodge. South Gawler versus Tanunda. 1 vote South Gawler, Jacob Schmidtke. 2 votes South Gawler, Joseph Arnold. 3 votes South Gawler, Riley Haitley. So the end of round 6, we have Tarjan Krieg Williston on 8 votes, Henry Ratcliffe Angaston 8 votes, Luke Hadju Barossa 8 votes, Cade Rawlack New Ripta 7 votes, Traig Dowse Barossa 6 votes, Luigi Mondello Williston 6 votes, Kai Rosenzweig New Ripta 5 votes, Tate Manning Tanunda 5 votes, and Angus Pfeiffer Angaston 5 votes. Still a pretty tight leaderboard at this stage again after the end of round 6. Right, round 7. Williston versus New Ripta. 1 vote Williston, Angus Arthur. 2 votes New Ripta, Cade Rawlack. 3 votes Williston, Tarjan Krieg. Centrals versus Kapunda. 1 vote Kapunda, Samuel Woods. 2 votes Kapunda, Jake Mosey. 3 votes Centrals, Lachlan Groth. Barossa versus South Gawler. 1 vote Barossa, Luke Hadju. 2 votes South Gawler, Jacob Schmidtke. 3 votes South Gawler, Joshua Pearson. Tanunda versus Freeling. 1 vote Freeling, Taryn Henley. 2 votes Tanunda, Ashton Steinert. 3 votes Tanunda, Hamish Martin. So round 8, we have Freeling versus Barossa. 1 vote Barossa, Jake Tobin. 2 votes Barossa, Luke Hadju. 3 votes Freeling, Charlie Oliver. Newryupta versus Tanunda. 1 vote Newryupta, William Schluter Prowse. 2 votes Newryupta, Tyler Billing. 3 votes Newryupta, Kai Rosenzweig. South Gawler versus Gawler Centrals. 1 vote South Gawler, Thomas Clements. 2 votes South Gawler, Riley Haitley. 3 votes South Gawler, Jackson Penrose. Kapunda versus Angaston. 1 vote Angaston, Corbin Sherbert. 2 votes Kapunda, Jack Mosey. 3 votes Angaston, Malachi Colhagen. So at the end of round 8, the leaderboard is, we have on 11 votes, Luke Hadju, Barossa. 11 votes, Tarjan Krieg, Williston. 8 votes, 11 votes, Tarjan Krieg on 11. 9 votes, Cade Rawlack, Newrypta. 8 votes, Henry Ratcliffe, Angaston. 8 votes, Kai Rosenzweig, Newrypta. 6 votes, Craig Dowse, Barossa. 6 votes, Luigi Mondello, Williston. And 6 votes, Riley Haitley, South Gawler. Malachi Colhagen, 6 votes, in Angaston. And Joshua Pearson, South Gawler, on 6 votes. So into the last round, we have Barossa versus Newrypta. 1 vote Barossa, Jake Tobin. 2 votes Barossa, Riley Horsburgh. 3 votes Barossa, Luke Hadju. Gawler Centrals versus Freeling. 1 vote Gawler Centrals, Blake Marsden. 2 votes Freeling, Thomas Hahn. 3 votes Freeling, Jaden Henry. Tanunda versus Williston. 1 vote Williston, Shannon Willis. 2 votes Williston, Bevan Cross. 3 votes Williston, Tarjan Krieg. Angaston versus South Gawler. 1 vote South Gawler, Andrew Marshall. 2 votes South Gawler, Thomas Clements. And 3 votes South Gawler, Joshua Pearson. So with great pleasure, we announce that it is a tie for the Senior Colts medal this year. On 11 votes, we have Luke Hadju, Barossa, and Tarjan Krieg, Williston, on 11 also. So congratulations to Luke and Tarjan on a good season. Thank you for all those that have played in the Senior Colts this year. You've all had a good year, especially those 2 blokes.
Break, come in.
Break. Yeah. Right, good evening again, everybody. We'll do the reserves medal, which is the Fallon medal now. First game, round 1, Williston versus Barossa. 1 vote, Tyson Lane, Barossa. 2 votes, Williston, Deacon Davis. 3 votes, Williston, Corey Moore. South Gawler versus Kapunda. 1 vote, Kapunda, Adam Turrell. 2 votes, South Gawler, Matthew Rapol. Foldsy. 3 votes, South Gawler, Braden Fitzpatrick. Newry versus Gawler Centrals. 1 vote Newry, Bart Ryan. 2 votes Newry, Terence Wilford. 3 votes Gawler Central, Dylan Pilkington. Round 2, Anguston versus Newry. 1 vote Newry-Upta, David Cleary. 2 votes Newry-Upta, Terence Wilford. 3 votes Anguston, Blake Holmes. Barossa versus Tanunda. 1 vote Tanunda, Liam Ellis. 2 votes Tanunda, Ryan Bignell. 3 votes Tanunda, Luke Wells. Centrals versus Williston. 1 vote Centrals, Bailey Pigole. 2 votes Centrals, Jonathan Schultz. 3 votes Centrals, Dylan Pilkington. Round 3, Newry-Upta versus Kapunda. 1 vote Newry-Upta, Ethan Chapman. 2 votes Kapunda, Sol Alreni. 3 votes Newry-Upta, David Cleary. Tanunda versus Gawler Centrals. 1 vote Tanunda, Brodie Robertson. 2 votes Gawler Centrals, Tyson Duffield. 3 votes Gawler Centrals, Tyson Foreman. Williston versus Anguston. 1 vote Williston, Jake Quirk. 2 votes Anguston, Matthew Kurtz. 3 votes Anguston, Ben Burgermeister. Round 4, Anguston. Round 4. Anguston versus Tanunda. 1 vote Tanunda, Ryan Bignell. 2 votes Anguston, Harrison Schubert. 3 votes Anguston, Jack Ryan. Gawler Central versus Barossa. 1 vote Barossa, Damien Stevens. 2 votes Centrals, Owen John. 3 votes Centrals, Clint Hill. Kapunda versus Williston. 1 vote Kapunda, Bailey Jones. 2 votes Kapunda, Brad Valentine. 3 votes Kapunda, Adam Stripley. South Gawler versus Newry-Upta. 1 vote South Gawler, Lachlan Hewitt. 2 votes South Gawler, Alex Hanson. 3 votes South Gawler, Jonathan Wright. The leaderboard after round 4. Dylan Pilkington on 6, Dale Cleary on 4, Terence Wilford 4, and there's a number on 3. Round 5, Barossa versus Anguston. 1 vote Anguston, Jaden Davis. 2 votes Barossa, Damien Rowley. 3 votes Anguston, William Mole. Tanunda versus Kapunda. 1 vote Tanunda, Tom Smith. 2 votes Tanunda, Lachlan Kemp. 3 votes Tanunda, Ryan Bignell. Williston versus South Gawler. 1 vote South Gawler, Callum Hall. 2 votes South Gawler, Alex Hanson. 3 votes South Gawler, Sam Riggs. Round 6, Anguston versus Gawler Centrals. 1 vote Anguston, Angus Adams. 2 votes Gawler Centrals, Jonathan Schultz. 3 votes Gawler Central's Clint Hill. Kapunda versus Barossa. 1 vote Kapunda, Bailey Jones. 2 votes Kapunda, Sol Morelli. 3 votes Kapunda, Adam Turrell. South Gawler versus Tanunda. 1 vote South, Jordan Tippins. 2 votes South, Jonathan Wright. 3 votes South, Brenton Craig.
Leaderboard.
Leaderboard after round 6. Clint Hill on 6. Dylan Pilkington 6. Ryan Bignell 6. Jonathan Wright 5. Jonathan Schultz 4. With Adam Turrell, Saul Morelli, David Cleary, Terence Wilford and Alex Henson. Round 7. Barossa versus South Gawler. 1 vote South Gawler, Cooper Reglis. 2 votes Barossa, Julian Stew. 3 votes South Gawler, Callum Hall. Gawler Centrals versus Kapunda. 1 vote Centrals, Bailey Pudgell. 2 votes Centrals, Ryan Wennon. 3 votes Centrals, Clint Hill. Wollaston versus Newryupta. 1 vote Newryupta, Terence Wolford. 2 votes Wollaston, Connor Orlison. 3 votes Newryupta, Brett Teeley. Round 8. Kapunda versus Anguston. 1 vote Anguston, William Mould. 2 vote Anguston, Matthew Doakey. 3 votes Anguston, Wade Richardson. Newryupta versus Tanunda. 1 vote Newryupta, Ethan Chapman. 2 votes Newryupta, Brett Teeley. 3 votes Newryupta, Aaron Modestack. South Gawler versus Gawler Central. 1 vote Gawler Central, Bailey Pugel. 2 votes Gawler Central, Jonathan Schultz. 3 votes South Gawler, Jordan Gurney.
Leaderboard.
Leaderboard with 1 round to go. Clint Hill on 9. Dylan Pilkington on 6. Jonathan Schultz on 6. Ryan Bignell on 6. And they're the only ones who can win it. Round 9. Anguston versus South Gawler. 1 vote Anguston, Craig Harvey. 2 votes Anguston, Samuel Walker. 3 votes South Gawler, Jaden Gurney. Barossa versus Newryupta. 1 vote Barossa, Flynn Pratt. 2 votes Newryupta, Bartholomew Ryan. 3 votes Barossa, Jack Charles. Tanunda versus Wollaston. 1 vote Tanunda, Christopher Kaiser. 2 votes Wollaston, Ryan Bors. And 3 votes Tanunda, Rom Detroit. We'll have a look. I'd like to congratulate Clint Hill of the Gawler Central Football Club to win the Fallon Medal for the reserve with 9 wins, 9 votes. Second,
Sorry. There you go.
second Dylan Pilkington with 6, equal with Jonathan Schultz from Gawler Centrals and Ryan Bignell and John Gurney. So well done to Clint Hill. We'll have a bit of a break before we go into the Schluter medal.
Yep, you're on.
Right, now we go to the Schluter medal for the best and fairest in the A grade competition. And there's also the male medal winner too. Round 1, Nuripta versus Gawler Central. 1 vote Nuripta, Bradley Hopner. 2 votes Gawler Central's Charlie Molyneux. 3 votes Gawler Central, Sean Baker. South Gawler versus Kapunda. 1 vote South Gawler, Bailey Zobel. 2 votes Kapunda, Josh Dodd. 3 votes Gawler Central's Dominic Costanza. Williston versus Barossa District. 1 vote Williston, Harrison Eyebrow. 2 votes Williston, Michael Clint. 3 votes Williston, Braden Coombs. Round 2, Angaston versus Nuripta. 1 vote Nuripta, Bradley Hopner. 2 votes Angaston, Steve Summerton. 3 votes Angaston, Mark Bornholm. Barossa versus Tanunda. 1 vote Barossa, Lee Riswick. 2 votes Barossa, Darren Schillerbeer. 3 votes Barossa, Ethan Garnt. Gawler Central versus Williston. 1 vote Gawler Central, Jamie Wagner. 2 votes Gawler Central, Tom Phelps. 3 votes Gawler Central, Charlie Molyneux. Nuripta versus Kapunda. 1 vote Kapunda, Aaron Whistler. 2 votes Nuripta, Bradley Hupner. 3 votes Nuripta, James Bentley. Tanunda versus Gawler Central. 1 vote Gawler Central's Andrew Wright. 2 votes Gawler Central, Bradley Mercer. 3 votes Gawler Central, Charlie Molyneux. Williston versus Angaston. 1 vote Williston, Adam Connolly. 2 votes Williston, Michael Klimt. 3 votes Angaston, Mark Bornholm. Round 4, Angaston versus Tanunda. 1 vote Angaston, Jake Hood. 2 votes Angaston, Mark Bornholm. 3 votes Angaston, Stephen Summerton. Gawler Central versus Barossa. 1 vote Gawler Central, Sean Baker. 2 votes Gawler Central, Charlie Molyneux. 3 votes Gawler Central, Joe Botton. South Gawler versus Nuripta. 1 vote South Gawler, Dominic Costanza. 2 votes Nuripta, Scott Bentley. 3 votes South Gawler, Jackson Press. Kapunda versus Williston. Williston, 1 vote, Tyson Earlham. Kapunda, 2 votes, Brody Borg. Williston, 3 votes, Harrison Elborough.
The medal round. Round 4.
After round 4, Charlie Molyneux leads with 10, Mark Bornholm with 8, Steve Summerton with 5, and there's a group on 4. Round 5, Barossa versus Angaston. 1 vote Barossa, Lee Ruswick. 2 votes Angaston, Stephen Summerton. 3 votes Angaston, Mark Bornholm. Tanunda versus Kapunda. 1 vote Kapunda, Joel Worsfold. 2 votes Kapunda, Fraser Evans. 3 votes Kapunda, Callum Brown. Williston versus South Gawler. 1 vote South Gawler, Dean Cutting. 2 votes South Gawler, Dominic Costanzo. 3 votes South Gawler, Patrick White. Round 6, Angaston versus Gawler Central. 1 vote Gawler Central, Sean Baker. 2 votes Gawler Central's Nicholas Hooker. 3 votes Gawler Central's Andrew Wright. Kapunda versus Barossa. 1 vote Kapunda, Josh Dodd. 2 votes Kapunda, Jay Meany. 3 votes Kapunda, Aaron Whistler. South versus Tanunda. 1 vote Tanunda, Ben Schiller. 2 votes South, Patrick White. 3 votes South, Johann Smith. Medal count after round 6, the leaderboard. Mark Bornholm leads with 11, from Charlie Mullo at 10, Steve Summerton and on 7, Dominic Costanza 6, Sean Baker 5 and Patrick White 5. Round 7, Barossa versus South. 1 vote Barossa, Adam Spencer. 2 votes South, Bailey Filkey. 3 votes South, Dominic Costanza. Centrals versus Kapunda. 1 vote Centrals, Charlie Molyneux. 2 votes Centrals, Thomas Phelps. 3 votes Centrals, Sean Baker. Williston versus Nuriupta. 1 vote Williston, Sam Walton. 2 votes Nuriupta, Azariah Rakawaza. 3 votes Nuriupta, Scott Bentley. Round 8, Kapunda versus Anguston. 1 vote Kapunda, Bradley Valentine. 2 votes Anguston, Scott Lewis. 3 votes Anguston, Stephen Summerton. Nuriupta versus Tanunda. 1 vote Tanunda, Lee Westhoff. 2 votes Nuriupta, Mitch Norton. 3 votes Nuriupta, Scott Bentley. South versus Central. 1 vote Gawler Central, Shane Moss. 2 votes South Gawler, Jackson Press. 3 votes Gawler Central, Daniel Stanley. Now the leaderboard with 1 round to go is Mark Bornholm and Charlie Molyneux both on 11, Steve Summerton on 10, and Dominic Costanza on 9, Sean Baker 8, Scott Bentley 8, and it's interesting to know that 2 leaders did not partake in round 9. Round 9, Anguston versus South Gawler. 1 vote Anguston, Benjamin Antoni. 2 votes South Gawler, Josh Whitwer. 3 votes South Gawler, Jackson Press. Barossa versus Nuriupta. 1 vote Barossa, Darren Shillabeer. 2 votes Nuriupta, Ryan Fowlis. 3 votes Barossa, Ethan Gant. Tanunda versus Williston. 1 vote Tanunda, Ben Schiller. 2 votes Williston, Sam Walton. 3 votes Williston, Brody Cormack. I'd like to declare dual winners of the Schluter and Male medals, Mark Bornholm of Anguston and Charlie Molyneux of Gawler Central with 11 votes each. Runner-up to them was Steve Summerton with 10, then Dominic Costanza with 9, Sean Baker, Scott Bentley and Jackson Press. Congratulations to 2 fine footballers and 2 fine men on winning this prestigious award. In summing up, these awards will be presented at the end of the grand final on Saturday. Also, we'd like to thank Thomas Foods for their financial support to these players who will receive a cheque from Thomas Foods. And in conclusion, I hope you've all enjoyed our night live streaming the medal here from the Gawler Barossa Jockey Club. And again, thanks Jane Collins and the committee for their help in letting us use this venue. And to remind you all, on SA Footballer on Saturday, we will be live streaming the grand final. So thank you, hope you enjoyed watching, good night.